We are coming to you from the Nosebleed section. Thank you for tuning in for episode 2. Excited to do this once again. So we got an exciting conversation prepped up for today. So I guess we'll just kind of jump straight into things.
Yeah.
You got anything to add, Carson?
No, I'm excited. I'm excited that how many weeks out? Just
next week.
Next week is week 0.
Well, week 0
next week is Oklahoma's first game.
Yeah.
Week 0 is this weekend. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, Boomer Sooner. That's all I can say. What do we want to start with?
Let's talk about the new rules.
Rules.
Seems like this sport always changes some things up season to season.
Yeah,
and this year had a lot, from what I understand.
Yeah, but we have some major ones. Yeah, like you're saying, we do have a lot. We have 2-minute warning is now part of this, which is pretty wild actually. Which I kind of like it, but like at the same time, college football games last a long time anyway. Like, and I like that as a college football fan.
It's just one more commercial break.
Yeah, just another commercial break.
Yeah.
But it also
I like it though.
It gives another like timeout kind of thing, and it kind of, as a student in school, like there's a lot of pressure, especially in like D1 level stuff, that having a 2-minute warning to kind of reset, like just like another timeout, which I may be just overlooking into that, but it changes the pace a little bit
I
more.
look at it like it's a nerf to the strategy of just running the ball out with long drives too early on in the game. That should be a feature of the game.
It's harder to milk the clock now. Yeah.
Yes, that's what this is for.
Yeah, and like
in my mind.
Yeah, so like if you look at it, like if you look at the other games, like in the past, like if it had 2-minute warnings, some of them may have gone different ways. Like if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders if you went back to 2017 Rose Bowl, how would that have affected that?
Don't say that. I don't remember that game.
I know. I'm sorry.
What Rose Bowl? I'm still waiting to hear us or watch us play that game.
I know. Baker's last game still hasn't happened yet, right? At OU. Yes, it has. Unfortunately, we lost that, and it was terrible. And I still have a little bit of bitter taste in my mouth. But
I think there's still a hole in my wall from that game.
Yeah, I remember hitting my punching bag so hard that it like bounced off the springs. I was so mad. I think adrenaline was pumping more than it ever had been. Yeah. Okay.
I went back and watched that squib kick just a few days ago.
Gosh.
I'd forgotten how bad that was.
It was. If they hadn't done that, they'd have won because
oh yeah, it gave
like
them
the
momentum
defense
going into the half.
Yeah, I know. And the defense actually had some kind of like momentum. Like sure, Georgia would have probably popped like 28 or 35 on the board, but we would have dropped.
Yeah, we still would have
40s.
Won.
Like oh gosh. Nah, it's okay. It's okay. Let's move on.
Nope.
Let's move on. I don't want to think about it.
Anyway, other rules.
I shouldn't have brought it up. So 2-minute warning. The other big thing. I mean, do you have anything more to say on 2-minute warning? Do you any more?
No, I think we pretty well hit that.
I'm trying to think because there's obviously like we've talked about transfer portal, NIL stuff, obviously, and we'll talk more about.
We're talking about rules to the actual game.
Yeah, to the game. Okay, so. Yeah, so
didn't they change
coaches
the kickoff?
Do what? Oh, no, the NFL changed their kickoff.
College hasn't done that.
College has not done that, but they're looking to it's looking like they're going to eventually.
It's going to happen.
But they have not done that yet. No. The next thing that I do remember, and I think I have it pulled up, just is that coaches you can have believe you can have one defensive player and one offensive player have radio to the coaches, but not in the booth on the sideline. So that changes. So like the NFL has.
Why can't you be in the booth?
I don't know.
Like,
maybe
why not just go all the way with it?
I know. I mean, why not just steal signs? Like we should just steal signs.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I like that they're doing this because I think that it can help give some clarity.
Should have happened a long time ago.
And the NFL's been doing this for like kind of a long time too. I don't know when they first started, but this has been in the works. Actually, I watched a video on the helmet cams, like there's kind of like a short little history of the not helmet cams, helmet radio things, and some guys that were huge Cleveland Browns fans back in the day had the idea of doing that, and eventually that got kind of cut off because they're like, oh no, that's too much of an advantage, and now later it's evolved to now we have that now, so it's very it's interesting. I think it's going to be really helpful. And I mean, the ones that know their stuff, it's going to help them more. I think it's going to help the ones that know their stuff better.
I agree.
But who knows? Who knows? Like,
what if
they don't work?
What do you think about quarterbacks with polarized visors. I'm against that.
Are they so? Oh,
There's
so
not
the
a rule
the
that
defense
bans
can't
it.
wouldn't be able to read.
Yeah, you
their-
can't see his eyes.
That is a good point, though. I mean, I wouldn't know as far as like using it because I've never been a quarterback.
makes
and
it so
I've-
much
like,
harder.
Yeah, which I feel like it would make it harder to see as a quarterback. So it's kind of I don't know.
It goes the other way though.
It makes it hard for the defense to read your eyes.
I played cornerback for about 3 years. Not at a very high level. Didn't even start in high school. But even at that low of a level,
Yeah.
that's such an important feature of the game to be able to see the quarterback's eyes.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
I can.
You're at a
imagine
serious disadvantage.
That is a good point, and I feel like you can only pick up on head turns,
Mm-hmm.
but they're allowed to do that. They're allowed to wear visor, aren't they? Or are they
Yeah.
not? Okay.
It's not widely done, but there isn't anything as far as I know that bans it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that we should ban it before it becomes a thing because that'll ruin a season.
I think that
With it.
I'm kind of with you there, but there's
Mm-hmm.
also like the other balance side of that is that, well, I know it depends on the routes that the receivers run, but there's also like those communication type plays that the quarterback has to have with the receiver moving. Like say there's like a busted play and they're trying to guide one guy
That's a good
one
point.
way or the other, and the dude is like, I don't know what you're doing because I can't see your eyes. Now it is a long ways away, so you can't see like the very depths of their soul and their pupils, but like you
can see
you
where
can
the
see the
pupils move.
direction of where
Yeah.
they're going. So I feel like that there is a disadvantage for the wide receivers also. There can be, so it kind of balances out sort of, but
I
at
don't
the
think
same
that
time,
balances out.
not completely
but
balances.
I know
out,
what
but
you're
like,
saying,
but
though.
like because there's plays like some plays that they're not even turned around at that point, but I think that adds a layer to it to keep it from getting banned. But I don't know. I've never really thought about that as a like a cornerback would before. So like, I don't know.
That's my point of view.
Yeah. No, but I think that's an interesting point. We can talk about that more. Maybe it does become a rule someday. Maybe we talk about it more. I don't know.
We should start a political action committee to ban the visor.
Maybe. I don't know. That's funny, but let me see. There may be a few more rules. I'm trying to.
Those were kind of the two big ones.
I think those were the two
thought
big
of.
ones, which is really they are interesting. Because they did make some recently. A couple years ago, they made a. Sorry, close to the mic. I'm pulling some out for later. They made a. The overtime rule changed where it can't just keep on going over and over. and
That was
over
such
again.
a stupid rule.
You have to go for two, which after that A&M was an LSU game.
Yeah. 74,
happened,
72.
they were like, okay, yeah, we need to.
It was such a
we need to
knee-jerk
figure
reaction
something
to
out.
something that's only happened once in
Yeah,
history.
I know.
So you completely ruined overtime.
It's crazy. Going back to those kind of high scoring games, man, I think about like the Baker Mahomes one in 2016, and they didn't even need to go into overtime. That's crazy to think
No.
about. Like, and it was still like 66-59 was
Mm-hmm.
the score, and it was like, what the heck?
I wanted to throw up.
Yeah,
That was a 6-hour game or something.
it
like
was
that.
crazy.
It was insane.
And as a Cubs fan, we were also watching the NLCS, the National League Championship Series. And what are you laughing at?
Just keep going.
Well, just the memories of that night were crazy because we had like two TVs set up. Me and my dad were watching the Cubs game because we're big Cubs fans, and it was the 2016 year they won the World Series, and they hadn't made the pennant since World War II, and that was the pennant game that they were winning. So we were like happy, but we were also just so frustrated at the defenses in those games. Like, I mean,
This
I know,
is just
I know
such
we're
a
rambling.
story.
I know. So I mean, like it's crazy. My opinions on that game are like, yes, the defenses were bad, but also it would have been high scoring against any defense. Not that high scoring, but it would have been high scoring because those quarterbacks were about as on as any quarterback could get in college football that night. And Lubbock is crazy. And I went to Lubbock recently, and it was the first time I've ever been there. It was actually kind of an interesting town. believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah. People are really cool. Big tech people. I went and saw the stadium. It doesn't even look like a stadium from the right outside. It's
Well, it's
very
like right off the highway, isn't it?
Yes, but like the parking lot, it looks
Mhm.
kind of like one of those like I'm trying to figure out a good way to describe it, but it looks like it doesn't look like a stadium from the outside. Let's just say that because
Does it look like a grocery store?
I honestly was like ready to get tortillas and throw them at it and then leave.
Does it
when
look
we were
like a
there.
bank?
I don't know. We should probably move on. We've yapped, or I've yapped too much. Sorry. But all that being said, helmet communication with coaches and 2-minute warning.
Wasn't that why we're here, to yap?
That is true. We are here to yap.
Yeah. You know, if people didn't like us yapping, they wouldn't be listening.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Maybe that's why a lot of people don't listen, though.
Maybe. We had
That-
we
that's
had,
their
we had a good
loss.
amount of listeners before. Like not crazy. I mean, hopefully somebody gets on here and we get more listeners. But
I want someone to leave a hateful comment.
I know I want like some like trash talk from some other teams. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like go for it. I mean, if you're a Texas fan, like come on, we're a better program. Period. No, there's
This is getting
no
weird.
argument about it. Like you have the record over us, whatever. Okay, we're a
We've been
better
playing
program.
that game since before we were a state.
Yeah, like and you guys also. Okay, I'm not gonna get
Anyway.
into that more. But okay, next topic. What do you got for us?
Are we done with the rules?
I think
There's not
so.
anything else?
I think that we're probably good to cover on that, unless you want to get into depth on it later. I mean, in our podcast
Oh, okay.
segment, if you want to,
Okay.
we can. We don't have to. If we don't, we don't. If we do, great.
How much time do we got left on the video part? We got 10 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
Okay, let's talk about
Yeah.
a couple games.
Okay.
Why not? Let's move on to week 0.
Week 0. So we got 4 games, right?
So
Correct.
for those of you that are unfamiliar with kind of the flow of the season, there's usually what we call a week 0, which is technically considered part of week 1, but it's played a week before the rest of the week 1 games are.
Mm-hmm.
And so that starts this Saturday, the 24th. And then after that, the week 1 is one of my favorite weeks of the entire year because you have games played Thursday, Friday,
Oh, yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
So many.
With Labor Day being on the Monday there. So it's a good excuse to just rot on your couch for a weekend.
Unless you work on Saturday. But yes, you're not wrong. I've gotten some mini headaches by having. In college, I had TV screen here, TV screen here, TV screen here. 6 games in
4 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I could switch. I'm like, man, I had a massive headache once. It was crazy, but it was worth it.
It's always worth it.
It was worth it.
Because the game only happens once. So
Yeah,
you gotta
I know.
catch it.
I know, and you got to catch it while it's live. I don't like going back and trying to watch it. I've heard some people record it and then they
Those
watch it.
people are psychotic.
My grandparents do that. You used to call my grandparents psychotic. It's fine. It's just everybody's got their way of doing it, but my way of doing it is watching it while it's live. Man, we are really getting off topic a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, anyway.
next games.
Okay, but week 0, most of the games are kind of, I don't want to say throwaway, but not particularly interesting. But usually there's one, and that game to me would be Florida State versus Georgia Tech in Dublin, Ireland.
Oh, it's in Dublin. That's
Why?
So cool.
They've started playing a game in Dublin every year. I don't know why.
I mean,
But okay,
if
sure.
it introduces other countries to the beauty of college football, wouldn't you want other people to know about how awesome college football is?
That's a good point. You got me there.
But
Yeah.
either way, Ireland, that's so cool.
Watch the Big Ten expand to include a school in Ireland.
Oxford. Oxford would be in the Big Ten if they were in a conference. I know that's not Ireland, England. I know that. Trust me. But
Let's bring North Korea into the SEC.
I think you should
Man,
move on, Kale.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, we
today.
are. Yeah, we are.
But we're having a good time. Anyway, Florida State's favored by 11. This Georgia Tech game. This is pretty convenient too, because just last week I talked pretty high on Georgia Tech.
Yeah, you did. I remember.
Yeah, they played a lot of close games, return a lot of starters. They have 12 coming back actually.
Nice.
Kind of an interesting story out of them too. Their defense was abysmal, statistically speaking, 120th in the FBS.
Sounds like OU's back in the day.
Yeah, it was pretty pitiful. Which probably you could argue is why they lost so many close games. But anyway, they've got an entirely new defensive staff. They kind of cleaned house over there, and so that that's a pretty big question mark for them going into this game. I think that's an interesting storyline. And then on the other side, you got Florida State, who only has 8 returning starters, and they are without Jordan Travis or Tate Rodemaker, the 2 quarterbacks that actually saw significant play time last season. And no Keon Coleman, also star wide receiver, left for the NFL. I don't remember where he went, but
I don't know. I didn't keep up with the draft very
No, I
well,
didn't.
but yeah.
But so that's a whole lot of offensive firepower that they're missing now.
Yeah.
And so I think they're more in form with the offense that we saw in the Georgia game. And maybe that's not fair to say either, because I mean it's Georgia. You're gonna get crushed if you're not perfect. But
especially, I mean, like you said, they lost a lot.
yeah,
Georgia had a heyday.
yeah,
Not that.
and they've had a whole off season to prepare to. So I'm not at all saying that that's going to be what every game is like for them.
Yeah, they're a good
by
program.
no means am I saying that
they
at
do.
all.
Yeah, like they reload really well. They have always reloaded. Florida State's a good program. So
But I would anticipate with all that, and then being on the road, and Georgia Tech's they have a lot of momentum in that program right now. They're going to be fired up and ready to play this game. Florida State, I would expect them to run the ball a lot. Really lean on the experience in their offensive line and the run game there. With a quarterback who hasn't seen any significant minutes. So that I would expect that that's the strategy there. And if Georgia Tech's defense is much improved, like I've been kind of reading that people down there say that it is, this will be a pretty interesting game.
yeah, especially. I mean, usually like sometimes I'll look at the week 0 games and I'm like, but this one does seem pretty.
This one's
interesting
sneaky.
to me.
It really is.
It could be. Georgia Tech could make a run. I mean, that'd be crazy if you were right. Imagine if they beat Georgia later in the season.
That's not going to happen.
Hey, but you never know. It's college football.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. They came close
Hot
last
takes.
season.
Yeah, they always
were up in that game for a little bit. Weren't
they always make a statement. Like, I mean, it's a rivalry game, I guess. So like they show up in a way that maybe they don't.
I don't know
other
about
games,
always
but
make a statement, but
yeah, maybe not always. They've got their butt handed to them before, but
but
who knows?
Yeah, but Florida State's favored by 11. My pick for that would be Georgia Tech plus the 11.
I got you. Well, I'll go on the other side of that. I think Georgia Tech covers, but Florida State wins it. If we want to do predictions, and it's 11 is the spread.
11.
They definitely cover, even if they may win.
Florida State covers. You're saying?
No, Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech covers.
Okay.
Florida State wins. Yeah, that'd be my pick. But
okay, I can respect that.
I'll probably put that in the pick 'em too that you made. So
I don't think this game's in there.
oh, you're waiting until
week
week 1.
0,
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
But second game that kind of stands out to me, SMU at Nevada. Reason being that point spread is pretty large. SMU is favored by 27, and it's at Nevada, and so you got to wonder.
Yeah.
But were you about to say something?
No, I'm just nodding along.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll just keep rambling.
Yeah,
then.
keep rambling. Go for it.
But SMU
We're on time.
for
video.
Let's check. 3 minutes. I can finish this a little bit.
Okay. We can add on to it too if we need to. Yeah.
SMU, incredible on offense. They have been incredible on offense for a long time, several years now. Last year, they were 16th in total offense. They returned 14 total starters on both sides of the ball, including their quarterback, Preston Stone. I think this is his 3rd season, if I remember right. Wide receiver, Jake Bailey, is going into his 4th. I can't remember what year he is. I believe it's the 4th year. Got a lot of production out of him last year, though. And then the big thing for them, though, is the tight end R.J. Maryland coming back. That guy's going to play in the league, man.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Yeah, they put up some numbers last year, and I remember like talking up our defense a lot. Well, after we played them,
that
last
was a
year.
good defensive game.
Like it was we were like, I was like, guys, listen, you could say what you want. I mean, yes, we didn't do great on offense. They played good defense, but like our defense absolutely killed it because this has been one of the best offenses in the country for like the last few years.
I have to throw some light on that too right now. SMU was quietly one of our best wins last season.
It absolutely was.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't quiet. Like it's weird how everything pans out, and you kind of get more hate on that than you do. But
they won the American in their last season there.
They did.
They're in the ACC now, which is kind of crazy. A team in Dallas.
Man. They are, aren't they? They feel like they fit the Big 12 better. I've always felt like that.
I agree,
but
Big 12 doesn't have a TV reason to add them.
Yeah.
So whatever you think about that.
Teams, so. Yeah.
One team already in the same city, even.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's crazy. TCU, right? Yeah, TCU, Dallas Fort Worth.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But anyway, SMU by 27 is the spread there. It's at Nevada. I don't know anything about Nevada. I did a little bit of research on them this morning. There's and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but there's really not a whole lot going for them out there. So, you know, got to be a little pessimistic looking at that from their point of view. They returned 10 starters on both sides of the ball. Not that that's all that significant. I suppose that it's not like they had a star playmaker or anything like that last year. But I don't know. There could be some weird voodoo things that happen out there that makes this a close game. But, you know, I feel pretty confident in picking SMU to cover that one.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I think they'll definitely cover for sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, we got a few other games on there. Do any of those stand out to you? You know, you got to dig pretty deep.
I don't know much about Delaware State and Hawaii, Montana State, New Mexico. I mean, those are.
Hey, Montana State is one of the best FCS programs right now. I want to say they're like number 3.
I have heard they're
or something.
pretty good. Yeah.
And New Mexico is one of the bottom FBS teams. So you got to wonder.
It could be a good game. They'll get more viewership from like those teams. That'll be their most viewed games probably because
100%.
It's like one of 4 only games that are on.
That's a good point. So, a lot of those teams want to play in week 0.
Yeah,
just for
that way they
reason.
can get the viewership up. So helps the programs out probably. But
Delaware State, Hawaii, though, you are a real football fan. If you tune in to watch Delaware State at Hawaii, that kicks off at 11 p.m. Saturday night.
I mean,
I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I may watch it too.
There's not even a streaming service listed on. How do you watch that? Do I have to get on Twitch and some guy's live stream of the game?
Maybe some dude from Honolulu just
hey,
I'm watching this game. Everybody want to watch? Like, but like, who knows? What was the next thing you wanted to cover in a video? Do we want to get to the Mike Gundy thing?
Now seems like a good time to stop our video and come back and continue the podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So for those of you guys that are tuning into the video, and you go and find our podcast, we're gonna continue on talking about old Gundy up in Stillwater, and maybe going a little bit more depth on week 0, and also talking maybe a little bit more about the rules, but we'll see where we go.
Yeah.
So before we head out, let me go ahead and read the scripture of the day that I feel like we should read. So, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. See you guys in the podcast.
Have a nice day.